Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Monday, February 19th, 2024. And as you can see, things have changed. So I will go into that after my card readings. I do understand that there, of course, some people are watching for the card readings, don't really want to hear a personal story. So I'm going to talk about that after my card readings. So if you're interested in that and want to know why I've changed this setup, and I'll talk to you about that. So first I want to start with some very interesting about Slovakia. So we got Robert Fico there, who actually addressed the parliament in a speech, and he actually mentioned that all the deaths happening with the heart and had to do with stings. So he just mentioned that the stings were unnecessary and experimental. So shouldn't have happened to begin with. He also announced that he wasn't going to, agree with the extension of the authority of the WHO. So he's not going to continue with that or agree with that. Very interesting to see, and he's going to research and really investigate everything that has to do with sting. So that's happening in Slovakia. Interesting development. So I'm going to keep my eye on that as well. That's what I wanted to mention. I'm sure you can find English articles about that as well. In this video, I want to talk about Navalny. And Alexei Navalny, of course, left the earth plane when he was in the hands of Russia, and he's now being brought out like he was some kind of freedom fighter. I also saw a Dutch article that there were all these memories for him, or memorials or things like that to remember him by, in like 32 cities in all, I'm not sure where this is, 32 cities. I think it's all around the world, that all these activists, I think there are certainly a few puppets among them activated to do these things, of course, with the narrative from the media that he was fighting for freedom and against Mr. P, awful Mr. P. So they're really trying to paint a picture, and in that way they're trying to force, of course, especially the USA, to send more money to the Ukraine, because, well, right now there's not much going that way. A bill just has been stopped, or at least it's not going to go through the House of Representatives, if I'm not mistaken. The Senate have agreed to it, but it's not going to go anywhere. So the Ukraine really has not much coming in. And of course, the Dark Energies wants them to get as much money as possible. So they've created more fears around weapons in space. And now, of course, the leaving of the earth plane by Navalny. Well, it's very interesting to see. I also saw a message from, I think, the Yorkshire Lass, Samantha Alderson, who also mentioned that this is really just to push people to keep sending more money, especially the USA, because who really benefits from this? And it's really the West ultimately, and of course the Dark Energies that are benefiting from this, especially when they can round up people to stand behind Navalny and really put all this information about him and avoiding all the real information, because there are a lot of other things coming out. I also shared a clip from YouTube from Redacted, who goes into Navalny and his background, and other messages on my Telegram channel really about his background, and it's not a good thing. He's connected to some very extreme ideologies, and most likely he is connected to an agency in the USA with a C, and they have an I, and they have an A. So that should tell you all you need to know. But of course they will try to turn and twist this story in all kinds of ways. And I looked at the cards. I also wanted to mention, I shared a message about Mr. P, who of course did an interview and mentioned that he actually would like Mr. B as the president and not Mr. T. And I thought that was a brilliant chess move, because that will, how to say this, they won't be able to use that against him in the media, because they obviously all want to paint Mr. T and Mr. P in like one corner. And now Mr. P has actually admitted, no, I'd like Mr. B more. So they're like a bit stuck with that. They're like, right, how we're going to twist and manipulate that one. interesting to see. I thought it was a brilliant chess move from Mr. P. And of course, they needed to react. And I believe these are the reactions from their side, from the dark energies and from the media side. So I took the cards. The first one is the 3 of Wands. We've got the 7 of Cups. And we have for the past the Moon. Again, nothing is what it seems. We've got the Queen of Swords underneath the 7 of Cups. And for the future, we have the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. These are both children cards. As you can see, they're children on this card. And this is, well, you see 2 children on it. Again, both cards have 2 children, but especially this 6 of Cups to me is about children. So I think things are going to come out about that as well, connected to Navalny or maybe even to the Ukraine. But this is very interesting to see that it's connected to this energy. But right now, it's really just wait and see, because there's so much confusion going on. People really need to use their discernment. What's really going on? What is he really all about? Because the media are painting, the mainstream media are painting one picture. And of course, in the independent media, things are coming out that it's something completely different, because nothing is what it seems. So this is very interesting, especially with the children cards. So I do believe there is some connection in some way to him, or something will come out that is connected to that. And I think that will certainly change people's minds. But there, more coming out about him, and people are reading about that really not everything is what it seems. They want to paint one picture, but really something completely different. So people are confused, obviously. Use discernment. It's very important for people, especially in this, where we are right now with all the information coming out, to use discernment and to really watch and see what's going to happen next. So this is the energy I've got from Navalny. And I had to use my smaller cards because I want to use my cards for the next card reading. I could have used the bigger cards. Well, doesn't matter. I still have to. Like I said, this weekend's been quite chaotic. I will talk about it after the card reading. So could have used my bigger cards for that. But I want to take a look at something, because there's here in the Netherlands someone named Boomer, Jan Willem Boomer, who actually wrote a book. And it's about I think the curse of sea and moon, if I'm not mistaken. That would be the translation. Yes, the curse of sea and moon. And it talks about what happened here in the Netherlands in 1953. There was an enormous flooding, and it had to do also with the moon and the position of the moon. And it had to do with the water underneath, and not really about the water coming over. So he also talked about this and about solutions that could have been made to make sure that nothing going to happen again. And there was a lot of resistance towards what he was saying. And I also made a video about the holes in the dikes here in the Netherlands. I'm talking about the real dikes. It was very strange that they were doing this. And I think I also mentioned this in an English video about the holes in the dikes. It's just absurd. And I also mentioned this book, I think a couple of months ago, I think I've talked about that. So he was mentioning that the same moon position will be in the 25th and the 26th of February 2024. So that's Sunday and Monday coming up. And I already looked in my Dutch video if the Netherlands and Belgium are going to have, if it's going to be completely out of control. And in the card reading, I had a yes card and a no card. So I have 4 yes cards. Those are the aces. And I've got 4 cards that represent no for me. So it's a mixed bag. I believe that in some areas there will be flooding or issues. But I also believe that it won't be as bad, that there are large parts of the Netherlands and Belgium. I also looked at the Netherlands and Belgium are going to have this disaster, and that half of the country in the Netherlands or in Belgium are going to be flooded. I don't believe that, but there are going to be issues. As you can see, there's a lot of rain falling right now here in the Netherlands, so I'm sure that that's, especially with the moon position, is going to lead to certain things. I also got the feeling that they actually wanted more out of it, the dark energies, than what we're going to get. So I do believe that the white hats are trying to smooth it out, so to speak. Doesn't mean that there are not going to be issues. There are going to be floodings and things happening, but it's not going to flood like the entire Netherlands or half part of it, or Belgium. And I wanted to take a look if that is also about the rest of the world. Are there going to be awful flooding around the world? So that's what I wanted to take a look at in this card reading. So let's see. We've got the Queen of Swords for the world. Oh, we've got the King of Wands, so that's white hat influences. We have the Seven of Swords. We also had that one in the card reading for the Netherlands and Belgium. We've got the Knight of Swords underneath the King of Wands. We also have the Fool, which, if I'm not mistaken, was also in the card reading of Belgium and the Netherlands. And also this card, the Four of Swords. And I do see the Ace of Swords here. So what I'm getting is, again, there's going to be parts around the world that are going to have issues. And I mean big issues. Because I don't see a no card here, so there's no balancing things out. But I do believe that the white hats, these are, to me, this is the card for the white hat influencers, are trying to make sure that it's not going to get completely out of hand. But things will happen. There will be parts around the world. This is around the world, so this is a very big part. So that could be anywhere around the world. There's going to be a massive flooding in a way. But they're going to try to make sure that it doesn't get completely out of hand. And especially with the Fool card and the Four of Swords, I do believe that some people will have issues. But the Fool card is also about opening up new possibilities. So I do believe that it's not going to, I'd say they're trying to make sure it doesn't get completely out of hand. And they will try to help as much and assist as much as possible. But I do believe some parts, like I said again, I think the dark energies wanted much more than what is going to happen. But there are going to be around the world, there are going to be floodings and issues with water. So this is interesting to see. Also make sure that you use your discernment again, because some things may not seem what they are. That's the feeling I'm getting as well. So some things may seem worse, what the media will portray, than it actually is. And I believe, like I've mentioned, that the white hats are going to make sure that it's not going to get completely out of hand. It was the plan. I do believe that the dark energies really planned massive flooding around the world. So that's what I'm getting from this. But I like I said, there are going to be issues, because that's what I was drawn at, that we have the Ace of Swords. There are going to be issues with flooding and issues, and some people will be, left in certain situations that, they'll have to deal with that. But it will also open up, it's like cleansing as well. So I think it will be used in a way also to cleanse things. But like I've mentioned before, some things have happened, have already been put into motion in another time, unfortunately, with all the manipulations. And I do think the dark energies wanted more from it. And I think most of it has been stopped, or has been, how do you say that? They've started something to make sure that that there was going to be a lot of flooding, a lot of things happening. And then the white hats kind of adjusted it. That's probably the word I'm looking for. They have adjusted it. But there are going to be parts around the world that will have big issues. But not major. It's not going to be like entire countries completely completely flooded. It's not the feeling I'm getting. So that's what I got for the 25th and the 26th of February. So it's going to be interesting to see what will happen then. Like I mentioned, it's the moon position that's similar to the moon position in 1953 with what happened in the Netherlands. And then I want to talk about, those are my card readings, and I want to talk about what, of course, happened, because I've changed my setup. I've moved to, this was originally my bedroom, and I've moved my bedroom to the room where I used to record my videos. And I did that because The very friendly, lovely lady named Susanna, she actually contacted me and she wanted to give me as like a present for what I'm doing, and it was just very appreciated to look at my house with feng shui. And it's a very interesting lady. And so I showed her, I made a video what my house looks like, and we had a consultation on Friday morning where she explained and how said it gave me ideas how I could change things. And I've got some fire in me, so I'm immediately inspired. So naturally, after the work I've done on Friday, I started changing all kinds of things. I already moved because she really was like, maybe you should change those things, because now it's there was something about the area, and quite frankly I never really felt I always had issues with how I should put my bed in this room for some reason. It's like it wasn't really where I wanted to be. So I changed it. At least Friday I started moving some things around. Saturday and Sunday I had my doggies, of course, that I take care of. I dog sit. I was very happy to see them again. So I just took an hour on Saturday and an hour on Sunday. So the rest of the day I would be with the doggies. And I really started working really hard. So on Saturday, I changed the desk from my smaller room to this room, and my bed to that room. So Saturday, I slept there. And the problem is that window on the smaller room is near a road. So I do hear a lot more noises than I do here, because there's like a parking lot behind this one. But it is calmer. So in the smaller room, there's only my bed, there's a chair, and there are two night, how do you call them? Oh, night, it's not night. I'm sorry, I'm still a little tired because I didn't sleep that much, unfortunately. Bedside table, that's what it is. Bedside table. So I've got two small bedside tables, and that's it. So it's really very calm. Unfortunately, the noise from the street. So from Saturday, Sunday, I slept there, and last night I slept there, and I'm still a little bit tired, but I do think that it would be better because it's only my bedroom. There's nothing in there, and she also mentioned, of course, if it's not possible, it is what it is. You kind of have to work with what you got. But it's better if you're in your bedroom, is just for your bed and to sleep and to relax, and that's it, and that you don't put other stuff in there, because this is my largest room. I live in a very small house, very sweet small house. So this was the largest room. So naturally, to me, this was the room I would put my bed in, and closets and other things, and it's just a lot in there. So I do understand her, and it is nicer that it's calmer. I'm going to work out and see if I could put something in the window to muffle the noise, obviously. And I'm going to give myself at least a month to maybe even get accustomed to the noise, because I really do like it. I like I don't know, it feels like more relaxed. So she really inspired me to change things. And like I said, I started right away, and there's still things that need to be done and need to be adjusted. But, I do have to give myself some time, because I did everything by myself, and it's pretty heavy. The desk that was still full, because I really didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try if I could push it. And yes, I could. Okay, then I don't have to empty it out. So I kind of just pushed it. Same I did with my closet. I just pushed it and managed to get it in this room. And I've managed to, get my bed, which is like a box spring, and it's like 140 centimeters, so and by 2 meters. So it was quite a thing to kind of detach it, because it was connected, and the headboard is very big. So it was quite something, but I managed to get it to the other side, and I'm quite happy with the result. But like I mentioned, it's still the noise that is going to be an issue, so I'll have to see how that's going to work out. I really enjoyed my weekend with my doggies. I wanted to mention that because Finn was, close last year to maybe, they were going to let him leave the earth plane because he was very sick. He was also in the summer holidays last year, and with me for 14 days, and it wasn't good experience because he was just so sick. So he was really very close to death, unfortunately. And now he was just doing so well. It was so great to see. Of course, he's getting older. They're both getting older. Fortunately, yesterday it rained the entire day here in the Netherlands. We have those days where it starts raining, you know, when you get up it rains and when you go to bed it rains. It's just, and Finn doesn't like the rain. So I really had an issue later on. The first walk he was all right, of course. He wanted to walk, but you know, second, third was all right, but the fourth one he was like, nope. It was really pouring, so he's like, nope, it's not going to happen. But well, he had to, you know, at least be somewhere. You know, I was like, you have to do that because you're going to be picked up, and they picked them up yesterday evening. So it was great to have them. And we'll have to see, of course, with everything. I know that people are talking about you should do something, you know, because it looks so I don't know, neutral almost. But I also have seen reaction that people are very happy about that because they can actually see the colors around me in my aura that way. And I do have a tendency of, you know, wearing colorful things. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to do something behind this. I think it's also very calming to see this. So I'll have to think about that, feel about that. But there's still some other things I need to change first. And of course, work on that sound in my other room. And hopefully that there will be some solution to that. So I want to leave it at this. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.